What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It is time for a review of the new EP Add Violence by 9 Inch Nails, which as you probably know is now not just Trent Reznor, but also his partner Atticus Ross. If you've seen films like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or The Social Network, you know and you saw and you heard the brilliance that those scores are and the chemistry that they have as collaborators. So now Atticus Ross is an official member of the band. This is the second EP, Add Violence, in a trilogy of EPs. The latter of those supposedly coming out either later this year or early 2018. Not the actual events kicked off this cycle late last year in December, and it was an EP that I found pretty fascinating and very enjoyable overall. Whether it be the kind of anger of Burning Bright, Field on Fire, or The Idea of You, which definitely had an alluring appeal to it, and just the intelligence behind Dear World, the well thought out and provocative lyrics on this that really make you think about where maybe Reznor is in his headspace and how he feels about modern society. I thought it was a really strong EP, and I found myself listening to some of the songs that I've saved and even coming back to the EP occasionally. Now with Add Violence, I think that they're playing more to the instrumental advantage here, and that's something that Reznor has been known for in the past. Just look to Ghost Part 1 through 4 and The Slip and other moments where he kind of primarily focused on the instrumental moments. He's always played to this industrial and kind of synthesizer grind, but here I feel like it's a bit more mellowed out, even though the loathing and self-hatred and the other ideas are still behind the music. Now what kind of drags the EP down a bit for me is its overall length. It feels a bit bloated, especially mainly for the sole reason of the final track that goes on for nearly 12 minutes. It's called The Background World, and I understand and like the idea behind it. He constantly refers to, not only on this EP, but not the actual events. It's something that he at least touches on several times. He's talking about struggling to maybe wake up, or else everyone else is asleep and maybe he's the only one conscious. It's a couple of different perspectives, and here it seems like he's not able to wake up and he's not able to get out and shake off what society is putting on him and just conformity and that sort of thing. And I like the idea there, but about 2 or 3 minutes into this final song, The Background World, it just starts getting so repetitive. It's literally the same thing over and over again, and it's not even a complete loop. Maybe that's just my OCD getting me, and I get maybe that's some sort of signal or sign that it's not a complete loop, but it's this thing that builds and then it starts over again with this dark guitar mixed with a synthesizer, and it just goes over and over and over again until it gets fuzzier and fuzzier and it's just a bunch of static and it eventually fades out. I pretty much can't even make it to the end of the song. I've only made it to the end twice, and I think that that's saying something for me. It just doesn't seem like it serves its purpose as effectively as they wanted it to. Personally, I'm always going to be drawn more to songs that have Reznor's voice on them. He always has this kind of haunting quality, and especially whenever he speaks, like even in the background of tracks like The Lovers on this very EP, it's super effective, and I love that tune. It comes right after the lead single Less Than, which is definitely a fire song, one that really just lights up the EP, the shining star of the EP, if you will. And it has those synthesizers that roll in, and then those harsh vocals that definitely speak volumes about where Reznor is at this point in his career, and I'm loving the passion that I'm actually feeling from this. I didn't feel this on their last full-length LP, Hesitation Marks. That, I think, was one of their weaker albums that they've ever released. But here on these new EPs, I'm feeling that again. And right after that lead-off track, Less Than, which I don't feel like gets topped throughout the rest of the EP, we do get a really sincere moment, The Lovers, that just seems jaded and bitter. But the way that Reznor's voice is utilized here, it's perfect. Not Anymore is one of the angrier and more fierce tunes on this EP, although something feels lacking. It almost feels like it's trying to push this idea, but I don't quite feel it in the forcefulness with the instrumental and the way that that pairs up with Reznor's voice. And then the only other track that we have is This Isn't the Place, and it's one that wanders a bit. Its music is explored in several different genres, and I really don't feel like it quite fully finds its way, although it is kind of enjoyable. It's just one of those things that for me personally, I'm not going to be coming back to this all that often, I don't feel like, unless I'm sitting down and I'm like, I'm in a 9 Inch Nails mood. There's not a ton to say about this EP, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for Add Violence. I think it's a moderately low replay factor for this thing. Like I said several times, I don't know how other fans are feeling, but I just don't feel like I'm gonna be drawn to this time and time again like I have with some of the past albums like The Fragile or even Downward Spiral or Pretty Hate Machine. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, and if you're able to, consider supporting on Patreon. It's that top link in the description, or you can click the annotation in the corner of the video. Another 9 Inch Nails EP review right here, or another recent video right here. Socials in the description, and I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.